Well, it's fair to say that something big is brewing.
I hope this is my last time at this podium, at least for a little while. I don't mean that in a negative sense. I mean, the only thing that would bring me back is an unexpected event in the next few days, which, as you all know, is totally possible given everything you've seen over the course of the past years.
Yep, as of course, that's something that we've been saying as well, as a lot of people are expecting something major to happen. And the first thing that kind of came to my mind is what happened to the drones? Where is the conversation regarding that larger kind of disclosure here that Donald Trump is promising to release on day one, as Germany just announced that its military has been officially authorized to shoot down any drones over its military and government buildings. As Tucker Carlson really did have some very interesting things to say about this during a recent podcast episode where he talked about how there's a larger possibility of this being interdimensional beings, and at face value, that sounds kind of absurd, sounds kind of crazy. But I'm going to argue that it actually explains a lot what's happening right now, especially with the little circumstantial information that we have in front of us. As hold on there. I think he might be onto something here, as his conversations with Michael Schellenberger were absolutely fascinating, as we're now kind of left hoping that the Germans don't start some kind of intergalactic potential space war with non-human entities. As of course, I'm just being sensationalistic there. But let's play a little bit of this Tucker Carlson clip for context here of what he's arguing, which after listening to, I was like, holy cow, yeah, he actually makes sense here.
It was like, I think that they're extraterrestrials. You know, he's openly saying that.
Yeah, it's not.
So you kind of
not the case.
Well, okay, or NHI, I guess NHI.
Yeah.
But I mean, here you and Joe are like the two big, most influential podcasters in the country, and you both think that it's not just a government secret tech, or that it's not just plasmas.
No.
And Joe's very close with Elon. Loves Elon, you know, like me, and I think probably like you, believes that Elon deserves a huge amount of credit for saving free speech in this country. Elon says there's nothing there, he never sees anything, and they've got an amazing rocket system that sees a lot of things.
I'm not sure. I've talked to Elon about this a number of times, and I'm not sure he says that.
Okay, I thought he did say that.
No.
I thought he said if there's any aliens.
He jokes about it, which is a tell. Trump does too, and they joke in the same way. I mean, of course I love them both, obviously, and I feel like, you know, I feel like they both have really been great for this country, you know, net as they say. But no, they joke about it in the same way that a lot of people joke about it. They're like, no, there are no flying saucers from Mars.
Right.
Well, of course, they're not from Mars. They're not from another planet. They're from here. They've always been here. These are spiritual entities. This is my view, and I sincerely believe it. Can't prove it. But since you asked, so he is, I've never heard Elon say that's not
Be
true.
dismissive.
That there's nothing there. He just said, look, we monitor space. That's what they do, right? And this is self-evident. If there have been so many sightings in this country and around the world that if they were from another galaxy far, far away, there would be some satellite evidence of that. They'd be picked up coming into our atmosphere. And of course, that's not, as far as I...
And thinking about it, yeah, if they're flying from space, you would think something would kind of pick up the larger signals here. But overwhelmingly, a lot of the reports that we're getting specifically with these drones is that they're coming out of the water, coming out of the ocean. As of course, the first thing that I'm automatically thinking about is the kind of first pages in William Cooper's book, Behold the Pale Horse, where he specifically describes a very similar kind of entity, as William Cooper was a former U.S. naval intelligence officer that was warning people about these kind of aliens. And when we start thinking about these aliens as aliens that actually exist here, that could be interdimensional, that could live in the crust of the earth or in the oceans, another species of higher intelligence with more capabilities than us, as we have to understand our plane of existence here is multidimensional. What if these creatures just exist on a new kind of a dimensional kind of understanding that we cannot grasp or comprehend? What if it would explain a lot of this kind of hippy-dippy and spiritual stuff that we keep hearing about that humanity is always kind of enthralled in? What if there's something bigger, something deeper happening here? As, I don't know about you, but hearing these specific conversations, and again, I had very long conversation with Tucker Carlson about this personally myself too. And the more I talk to him, the more I kind of link all the research that I have done throughout the years. It does make sense that there is some kind of other entity out there. Some people would describe it as spiritual entity. Some people would describe it as an alien entity. Some would describe it as an interdimensional entity, an outside entity of the human body that does exist within our own planes that, of course, is now kind of making itself more well known, as this would also kind of explain particularly how the U.S. government can't really say anything about this, as the larger kind of question remains, why are these drones and these creatures showing themselves more than ever? As now we're getting a lot of reports specifically of these drones flying over U.S. military bases, over Bedminster in New Jersey, as we're kind of entering woo-woo territory here, but let's play along here for a little bit, as it is 2025. The absurd is now the reality in our modern day political lexicon that has been absolutely insane within the last few months, and I think it's fair to argue it's only going to get more insane from here.
I mean, there's
It would
also
not surprise me, though. I mean, it's clear that these things reside, deep in the earth, under the water, and in the atmosphere. I do think all the puzzle pieces are sort of in plain sight.
Did you ask?
And the more I kind of think about it, it does add up to a lot of the other kind of circumstantial evidence that we have had with these drones over in New Jersey. As, of course, we also got specific reporting of police officers flying their own drones and not being able to detect these things, as they were able to, of course, evade detection. There was other reports of civilian drones flying near them that, of course, had their batteries die automatically as soon as the drones kind of went up, even in the vicinity of these larger drones that were the size of cars. As I'm kind of left wondering here, with everything that we have now, this is the most kind of logical conclusion to all of this. And we might be getting confirmation of this from Donald Trump, the future president of the United States, that has now vowed to specifically release the data on this very specific weird occurrence, as he has made many public declarations saying specifically, people know exactly what these drones are, and they are not telling anyone. As Donald Trump says that he is baffled on why the American people have not been informed, as he was joined by other governors that actually reported similar instances, including the governor of Louisiana that described drones flying over nuclear facilities, specifically during the larger attack that happened on New Orleans on January 1st. Also a weird kind of occurrence, as other governors came forward with their own particular stories saying, yeah, something's weird also happening in my state, with U.S. military capabilities being outmatched by these drones that keep penetrating their airspace, as U.S. air defenses can't do anything about them. Now, what country has better, bigger, more advanced capabilities than the U.S. military? Well, on paper, looking at it, no other country in the world, except if it was for interdimensional beings and creatures. As there's also another lore, specifically with a lot of government whistleblowers and people within the militaries of the world, that overwhelmingly have this larger consensus of, hey, there's something else out there that is far more advanced, far faster, defies the laws of physics, is able to fly as fast in the air as it is in the water out there. And there's even a lot of people coming forward saying that these creatures, these entities, were also responsible towards preventing an all-out nuclear war on multiple occasions. Now, is that true? I don't know, but that's the lore. That's the conversations that, of course, have been going around. And these are, I think, legitimate conversations to have here. As Tucker Carlson brings the point home here, specifically describing how a lot of the top powerful people don't like Trump, mainly because of his disclosures, not because of his policies. But before playing that clip, we wanted to remind everyone to sign up to lookunfiltered.com, as we have a very big announcement, and that is that we are going to be doing live streams just for members of lookunfiltered.com. We might have one this Friday. You guys will know. We will email you. We will make a post about it on our members area that, of course, will be exclusively now gaining another amazing additional perk of being a member. As, of course, there's like 20 different perks that we give you for signing up for lookunfiltered.com. Clearly the best members area in all of independent media, and I will argue that till the end of the day, as now we're changing things up. And then when we do a podcast episode, it will be live only for members. Members will be able to chat. Members will be able to ask questions. Members will be able to, of course, be a part of the broadcast by also being able to call in. And then, of course, we will stop the live broadcast and upload it later on this particular YouTube channel. As, of course, we're also doing a range day here in South Florida, February 1st. Sign up for that. Limited spots are available. Sign up right now. Click the link down in the description below and become a member right now for just 20 cents a day. Click right here. Click the link in the description. Put in your details. Put in your information, and we email back you a login. When we do that, make sure to check your spam. Make sure you get it. Some emails have been going to spam for some reason. As of course, we are going to continue to do exclusive videos just for members. Also, as well, on top of the additional live broadcast, all exclusively here on lukeunfiltered.com. Link down in the description below. Also, don't forget to check out enougofcensorship.com. And this is where you just sign up to our free newsletter, where you will also be now getting additional free content that won't be available here on YouTube. All the stuff we can't see on YouTube will be available for members of lukeunfiltered.com and some people who sign up to our free email list that notifies you every time we release some good content out there for you guys. So sign up to the email list as, of course, the conversation continues, as these other points made by Tucker Carlson also drive the point home, specifically when it comes to the future Trump administration that is promising to have bombastic consequences for those people who want to keep secrets.
The incoming president has said, he just said, I'm going to tell you what those drones were about.
He was very relaxed about it too. I mean, I was struck that when he did, she said it twice. He said it again recently, like last week, right? But then he said it in December. He goes, I don't know why they're buying, like, I don't know why they're not telling people what they are. They know what they are. And I was like, I mean, it was a really, he made it sound like it's no big deal. Like, we should just tell people what it is. But if Trump knew what it is, and if it's NHI and Trump knows that, he seemed very relaxed about that, because of course the conventional wisdom among people that follow this who think it's NHI is that it's bad news, that it's not a great story, that if it were good news and that they were just friendly space brothers, offering us, advanced tech, then, and they'd be like, and there's no strings attached or whatever, that would be a much easier story to sell. But if there's some bad news in that story, then that might explain why they're so secretive.
Well, clearly there's some bad news. My theory is that the reason that permanent Washington or deep state or whatever, people who administer the system hate Trump is not because of any of his policies, which they're probably agnostic on, but because they fear that he will disclose information. I think everything's about disclosure. If you look at the federal government, its defining quality is secrecy, right?
Yes.
1 billion classified documents. Why is that?
Right.
It's not good. It's never good. Your kids behave like that. It's not good.
No.
They're using drugs or whatever. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're having sex they shouldn't be having. There's never a good reason for that kind of secrecy. It's not privacy, it's secrecy. So,
right. Yes.
And there's something about Trump that makes everybody nervous that he might say more of what he knows than he should.
Well, they don't control him,
that's
obviously.
Right.
So that's very nerve-wracking. I mean, how much do you think that they're just worried that he's going to pull out of NATO? How much of it is that?
Of course, that's in my daily prayers that he would do that. I don't think he's in danger of doing that. I certainly hope so. But I think it's even more fundamental. It's like this guy could say the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Because Trump is not much of a liar, actually, by Washington standards. He's an exaggerator, of course. But actually, his defining quality is like saying the truth.
He's being honest about kind of the issues.
The big issues, exactly.
So, well, Donald Trump, be honest about this larger kind of questions surrounding these UFOs, surrounding these aliens. Well, I hope so, because I think we deserve the truth. And if you agree with that, share this video. As, of course, now even The Hill is reporting in an opinion piece that, quote, some of these mystery drones are indeed UFOs and should be taken seriously. Now, the term UFO is unidentified flying object, obviously, as this is such an interesting mystery, as a lot of people are just obfuscating it. No, it's just consumer-made drones. That's not what people are saying. Other people are saying, oh, no, it's just the military. That's not, other people are saying, oh, they're looking for radioactive stuff. And I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more plausible sense, especially with all the secrecy and all the lying here. And now, to trump all of that, we have this larger conversation about interdimensional kind of creatures and beings that exist with us here on a different kind of dimensional plane. And call me crazy, but out of all the kind of explanations here, that one makes the most logical sense, especially with all the reportings of all these drones specifically having more advanced, better capabilities than the U.S. government. Now, again, there's a small possibility that maybe someone really did kind of have some kind of larger leaps and bounds when it came to tech and innovation. Maybe even hypothetically, if we're going to be playing along with hypotheticals, it could be some larger kind of AI system that, of course, went rogue and started creating alternative tech underneath the ocean and waters. As that really doesn't kind of add up, since, of course, all the reports of very similar things happening that add up to this going on for a very long time. So would I say it's the AI? No, I truly do believe, call me crazy, I don't care, these are probably interdimensional beings. I'll end it on that. What do you think? Let me know down in the comment section below. If you agree with me, if you're crazy like I am, share this video. As of course, man, we are living in crazy times, and I cannot wait for Donald Trump's first day in office in order to break everything down as it happens. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here exclusively on youtube.com/wearechange. Sign up to the email list. It's free newsletter, free videos, not seen anywhere else other than the email list, and sign up to lookunfiltered.com. We're going to be doing a lot of really incredible things just for you guys in the upcoming crazy, wild, and bombastic year that we are going to have